becoming the person. It's not about Santa Claus being God and he's checking who's naughty and nice. It's about what you are creating from your heart and your solar plexus. Remember, the solar plexus is the energy bunny. That's the creator right there, is your emotion. So the emotions are the actual ever-ready bunny, as I said. And that's where Isis came in this Egyptian training, is to get people, male and female, to get control of their emotions so they can reconnect it to this pyramid, laying on the side pyramid, get it to go to that straight point instead of it all over the place. Okay, so that again, here we've got the pyramid, your solar plexus, your mind and heart being connected to source. All of that is about the individual. So now we're dealing with coming back at home, being whole with yourself, being one with yourself, being connected to divine intelligence. We're going to need to really get as close as we possibly can by 2011, which gives us about a year, to learn how to control those emotions and get them to go exactly where your thoughts want you to put it. We will then be thinking with our hearts and our emotions and feeling with our brain. Completely opposite of the way we've been taught to function. So once that thought comes in, we give the creator the energy to create it. And we trust divine intelligence. We trust divine intelligence to make it perfect. So we are giving up that individuality and stepping back into the one, stepping back into bliss and joy, and wanting to be what the fallen angels would say would be a servant. And they saw that as a very bad thing. Okay, now I want to talk briefly before we go on this section. We never learn this in school, but it is one of the most important parts of all. This knowledge has never been lost. The ancient Egyptians taught it, the Kabbalah has it, the I Ching has it, the Tao has it, Muhammad teaches it. All of these paths lead to bliss, and they're all understanding energy frequencies. And you'll find them all in different symbols all over the world. So we were taught that man sort of crawled out of the cave, didn't know anything, wasn't capable of speaking. The thing was, and you go back to indigenous people, what? Especially in Peru, you don't need language. You do not need to speak words because they were connected still to the whole. So they're connecting through thoughts, which we would call like telepathy. Like it's this weird thing. You go into indigenous people and they all work that way. They don't need a phone, they don't need a cell phone, they don't need to use words. So when they fell, they lost that connection to be able to communicate with their minds. But some people really didn't fall, and they still understood those energy frequencies. So side by side, we have the people that really fell so low that they've lost all of using most of their brain, and other people that still held on to the ancient ways, which was what I call spiritual physics. That's what I call it. So it's what quantum physics is coming into right now. They don't have it because they're still connecting into electrical currents, like energy. It comes out of a light bulb type of energy. It comes from you. It is everywhere. All you have to do, instead of having 1,000 scattered thoughts, is to focus it down to one thought. That's what meditation does, is to teach us how to focus down to one thought, to leave everything else blank and focus. And that's why in the Western world that is a super no-no, because once you start doing that, well then you go, well, I want to be up here. I don't like it all the way down here. So all of this wisdom never got lost. So we had people who were walking around that could be sorcerers. Jesus was a sorcerer. Sorceress if you're female.
So Jesse's getting tired. He didn't use this tripod. Okay, so sorcerer means a person directly connected to source. And that's what Jesus was. He was somebody who directly connected to source. So that's now thought of being really evil. If you're directly connected to source, you're not doing bad things to people, because source is dictating perfection. But the church and other power, the fall of man, doesn't have control over you if you're connected to source. So really our goal is for all of us to be sorcerers and sorceresses. So we have these two groups that have always walked side by side. The ones that always understood energy frequencies. They may have different symbols, different signs, different tones, different colors. Remember, everything is energy. It's activated by thought. It's created by heart and emotions. So this has always been going on. So I asked, I was so scared when the Iraqi war started. I just saw this can really escalate into something bad. So I went to Muhammad really scared, because I really had not studied Islam at all. And I asked him to please help stop this, and that all of us would pray and we would all join together, but I'll just not do this. And it was odd. The information that I got back was this very clear, simple, peaceful, loving explanation. Here is paradise. Here is heaven. When you are a beginner, you start at the exact opposite place. You start on step 1. We would all love to start on step 9, but we start at step 1. Opposite of heaven is hell. Opposite of bliss, let's say, is rage. And then we've got judgment and never forgiving. They're very, very similar paths. They just have different dialogue. So when we have all these people that are just so willing to kill for God and so willing to hurt and destroy everything, and it's been going on for thousands of years, you are starting with people who are just beginning on this spiritual path. And then you have the ones that are going out because they did find bliss and they are walking in joy and gratitude, and they do understand and they let go of all these dramas. Okay, let's click on. Okay, so on our next one, we're going to talk about the illusions, the dramas. Okay, thank you.